and Blue, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. Today I wanted to do something fun and creative, so if you'd like to see how I got this look, then just keep on watching. Hey y'all, so I wanted to do a fun Valentine's Day look, so I'm taking the Nightshade palette from Gourmande Girls Cosmetics, and I'm taking the Makeup Shack T14 brush. I'm starting out with the shade Woody, and I'm placing that on the outer V of my eye and building up that shape. So I'm going to do kind of a winged out bit with it, and then work it outwards a little bit. I'm going to try to make it thinner on the outer corner to make it a little more pointier. I'm going to work it all the way up into my crease, and that'll be our depth shade. Now this look is heavily inspired by Amy K on Instagram. It was the look that she did where she had like the gleams and all the liner, but I wanted to do it like with hearts because I wanted to do one more Valentine's Day look before it was over with, because I've been having so much fun creating Valentine's Day looks. So I'm bringing that towards the inner corner of my eye, towards the bridge of my nose, working it all the way through the crease, doing back and forth windshield wiping motions with the lightest amount of pressure, and holding my brush towards the tail end of the brush. That way we don't have too much pressure and we get a nice and seamless and even blend. So with that same brush just cleaned off, I'm taking the shade Nightshade to blend that out, and I feel like this was a really nice shade to blend it out with because it's lighter and it gives it a little less of a depth shade. I don't know, the purples in this palette are honestly some of my favorites. The Nightshade palette is definitely one that I'm like, okay, this is staying on the desk. So I'm doing the same thing, back and forth windshield wiping motions with the lightest amount of pressure, just to make sure everything is nice and blended together and there are no harsh lines in the blend. So now I'm going to take a little bit more of Woody to bring back some of that depth and the smokiness, just to make sure that in the blending process where I lost it, just want to bring it back because this is our depth shade and it is one of my favorite shades in the Nightshade palette. I hit pan on it really quick because, like I said, this is one of my favorite Gourmande Girls palettes, and this shade Woody is just beautiful. So I'm just going back and forth with it, very, very light pressure. You don't need a lot of pressure at all, just to make sure everything is nice and built up and super pretty and blended nicely. So with the Makeup Shack T63 brush and the shade Peace from the Ultraviolet palette, I'm just going to blend everything out with it because it is such a gorgeous, nice, soft, pretty shade, and I felt like it would be really pretty with the shades from the Nightshade palette. And I love the Ultraviolet palette. If it's a purple palette, I love it because purple's my favorite. So I'm just doing back and forth windshield wiping motions with the lightest amount of pressure. This brush is a bit larger, but it's not as dense. But it's not like one of those big fluffy brushes like I like to use sometimes. I just feel like this is the perfect size for trying to get a nice and precise blend. And I feel like it helps to make everything blend out very nicely. And the shade, I just can't get over it. It's like such a pretty baby pink purple shade. So I'm going back into the shade Nightshade from the Nightshade palette with the Makeup Shack T14 brush and just bringing it back because I felt like I lost it and I wanted to go back in and touch it up. So I'm going to do the same thing, back and forth windshield wiping motions with the lightest amount of pressure. I'm kind of keeping it close to the shade Woody. That way you can see the different shades that was used for the blend. And then I am going to go back into the shade Woody to bring it back just a little bit on that outer corner of my eye before I start to clean my crease and carve it out. So this is where I'm going back into Woody, just making sure that everything is nice and evenly blended and that the colors are as defined. I don't think that's the word I'm looking for, but just the way that I was wanting them to be. Just gonna do a blendaroo. So I'm patting the shade Woody down on that outer part of my lid, on the outer V, and then just blending it out a little bit, back and forth windshield wiping motions with the lightest amount of pressure. I cannot get over how gorgeous this deep purple is. It's so pretty. I love it. So now I'm taking some micellar water on a Q-tip to clean off my lid and to clean out my crease, and I'll carve it out with some Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas and Fair. Unfortunately, my camera cut off and I was in the middle of a phone call, so I didn't quite get me carving out the crease with the clean canvas, but I did take some of the Danessa Myricks Color Fix foils in the shade Rebirth. It's so pretty. I'm taking the Cleona DF04 brush to apply that all over the lid where I carved it out. So it's almost like I'm carving the crease again, but I just wanted this to be the sparkly base for some sparkles so that it would be super intense, because I was using some more holographic sparkles this time and I wanted to amplify them. So I'm just taking it and I'm starting from the inner corner of my eye, swiping it over the lid, and then just making sure that I'm filling in wherever any of the clean canvas is, and this will help to really intensify some sparkles. So I'm going to take Ultraviolet from Terra Moon's Cosmetics and start to place that towards the inner corner of my eye on that outer or inner third of my lid, and then I'm going to take Spiritual from the Ultraviolet palette. So I'm going to take the Cleona DF04 brush, put it on that inner third of my lid. Now I'm going to take Spiritual and pop it onto the, first half of my lid, towards where that outer V of the lid is. And oh my gosh, these sparkles were everything. So here for an added pop of holographic goodness, this is the Kama Holographic Purple Liquid Glitter Eyeshadow, or Liquid Holographic Eyeshadow, and I'm placing it in the center of my lid, more to where I carved out the crease, so it really intensifies in the crease. And then I popped a little bit right on the center because the reflex in this, oh my gosh, they're so dreamy. If you haven't tried Kama Cosmetics yet, this is definitely a shade I highly recommend. That and the Galaxy Cream Flakes, oh my gosh, they're so beautiful. So I'm going to take a little bit of Woody on the Makeup Shack T66 brush and just pat it along the outer edge of the sparkles. That way everything is nice and blended together. Then I'm going to take some micellar water on a Q-tip to sharpen this up, and then we're going to doodle. I'm starting out with the Suva UV Taffy's palette and taking the pink shade, and this is the brush that came in that palette. I'm going to start by doodling a heart. I usually start from towards where the center of it will be and accentuate like the hump, and then bring it down kind of sharp, and then I'm going to do that on the other side. But I'm kind of building it up to make it a little more rounded. I want it to be kind of rounded, more so on the where the heart is just like the heart shape. So then when I bring it down from the opposite side that's more towards my lid, I'm going to extend that out almost like a little bow. So it'll look like it's got feet and it's just making a little bow, make it kind of flicked out like a baby wing. I just felt like that would be really cute. So I'm just extending it, and I'm going to go back in and kind of build up the shade. That way it stays more of that gorgeous pink, because this is such a cute pink in this palette. I really like it. This is definitely an eyeliner palette that I'm really glad that I picked up, because I use it all the time. So with the other part of the heart, I'm going to take it over like a bow, except I'm going to extend it over towards the center of my crease and my lid, but I'm going to keep it like slightly above my crease, because I am going to take another shade here in just a little bit to kind of highlight this shade. I will show you what I mean by that here in just a second, but I'm going to take this just a little farther than halfway across my crease, more towards the front of my brow, and this is where I'm going in and just building up the color of the heart. So now I'm going to do like an upside down kind of moon shape towards the bridge of my nose, and then I'm going to take it and extend it over towards where the other line is from where I extended the feet of the heart, but I'm not going to make them touch. I want to keep it above that so that I can go in with a different shade and sort of highlight the liner. I felt like that was a really cool effect. That was one of the things that I thought was really awesome about this look that I had saved on my phone. So I'm going to do the same thing right here, right underneath that U. I'm going to do kind of like an upside down moon, and I'm really just not going to take it and extend it out much. It's just a nice added detail. Floof says hello. She's doing the most this morning. So I'm just making sure that I got that shape built up and that I have it nice and pointed and just kind of as precise as possible. Now here is where I'm taking the purple from the same UV Taffy's palette and I'm going underneath the leg over my crease to kind of highlight the liner. And I'm going to take it out just a tiny bit further than the pink. I felt like it looked really, really cool. So I'm just going to take it and extend it, and I'm going to take it a little bit into the heart, and then I'm going to go underneath about where it starts to go over towards over the crease with the pink. I'm going to take that purple and do the same thing because I'm just going to highlight it. And it worked out because where I'm doing this with the purple now, the pink got a little bit thicker than I wanted. So I just put the purple over top of it to kind of thin it out. I don't know, I was just really happy it blended together like that because it kind of saved me from having to wipe it off. So now I'm doing a wing with the purple. I'm going to take it out from the outer corner of my eye, right where like my lower lash line is. I'm using that as my guide. So I'm taking it, extending it outwards, and then I'm going to go from the tip of that and then bring it onto my lid and take it all the way towards that inner corner. And then I'm going to go in and fill it up to make sure it's nice and, you know, defined, sharp. You can really see the gorgeous purple. And then I'm going to take it and extend it out just a little bit so that it's nice and sharp. And I thought I cut this out, but I was getting some more liner onto the brush to make sure that everything was nice and built up. So I'm going to highlight in the upside down kind of moon shape here. And now I'm going to do a dot and then take it down like a V to make a little baby heart. So I'm going to add a little baby heart here. And then I'm going to take the same purple from the palette and I'm going to do little baby dots beside it just to kind of give it a little something. I thought that would be really, really cute because in the inspiration picture, I want to say that there were dots or little baby gleams there. So instead of just leaving it how it was, I was like, okay, I can put another little heart here and then put a little couple dots and it'll be cute. And then I feel like it wouldn't be a look that I was like super excited to do if I didn't add some gleams because they're my favorite to doodle. I love doodling hearts for Valentine's Day, but I also love doing little baby gleams. So I take it from the foot. This time I went from the inner corner of my eye and then made it go upwards with a little curve into it and then kind of made it like a A with doing the splits and then connected everything, filled it in. Doing the same thing here. I'm taking it and doing like an A, but extending the feet to make it look like it's doing the splits. And then I'll go from whichever leg. I went from the one that was closest to my eye and extending it downwards. And from there, I took it and made it the shape. So this is the Angel Baby rhinestones from Manic Gems. And I'm just going to sporadically pop them all over, but not a lot. I just wanted to use a few for a little extra sparkle. And yeah, so popping on some gems. I have a code with Manic Gems if you would like. It's slightly unblended. It'll save you some money, and I will make a commissions, but they're one of my favorite places to get gems and stuff from. I love them so much. Alright, I'm going to go do the rest of my face, and I'll be right back. finished look. What do you think? I'm sorry this was a voiceover. It was very liner heavy, and while I really surprised myself with being able to talk through the graphic liner look that I did when I did my base tutorial, I wasn't so sure that I was going to be able to while I did this. And I took Biscuit to be spayed. Had to drop her off last night. Today's Tuesday. This is the Tuesday before this video is going to go up. So I was trying to hurry and make sure that I had all of this filmed up. That way when I got her home, I would be able to spend time with her, because she was very nervous, and she gets so nervous riding in cars. Anytime I've had to take her to the vet, she just hates being in the car. And then Artemis thought that I got rid of Biscuit, I think, because he was looking for her last night and made me want to cry. I was like, oh, my poor baby, because he loves him as a Biscuit. Okay, we always joke that Biscuit is his pet. They're not very far off in age. I think she's like a month or two younger than him, and they're like the bestest of buddies. Like, it's adorable. So he was wanting to know where his Biscuit was, and I told him, I said, baby, mama promises she will be back tomorrow. And he noticed that the cat carrier was gone and was like looking at it, and then looked at me. I was like, she will be back. I promise she will be back. So I had to pick her up from getting spayed today, and she's doing good. She's just mad at me, which understandable. You know, she's nervous about being in the car, and then she was in a strange place for a long time. Now she's home and she's like, don't even look at me, don't talk to me, no. Artemis wants in. But yes, I feel like this is so cute. This, like I had mentioned, I'm gonna try to figure out how to show the look, but I will pull it up real quick because I had inspiration from Amy K on Instagram, and it was this really pretty look. And I have tried to recreate this look before, and I thought that I did alright with it, but then I just never got around to posting it. So this was heavily inspired by this look, because I just, like, this is a look that lives in my head rent free, and I like to play around with liner to like try to get a little bit better at it. And I just kind of feel like this turned out pretty cute. I did struggle on getting the heart to be the same on this eye, and then this was a little bit thicker than I had planned, but I still feel like you kind of have to look really hard to be able to tell. I don't know. But I also love the Nightshade palette. It's so good. It's one of my favorite Gourmande Girls palettes. I love every one of their palettes that I've tried. They're all amazing, but the purples in Nightshade, I'm just like, love. I also have a code with them. It's slightly unblended. If you want to use that to save some money, I will make a commission off of it. Just in case you were wanting to check them out, if you wanted to do that to save some money, then I do have a code, and I love them so much, and I just adore Christina. Christina is the sweetest. But yes, it feels good to sit back down to film, because I feel like I haven't in a minute. I know I just did, but like, things have been chaotic. If there's not a kitty that's been sick, it was my husband, and then it was me, and then life, and it's just like, I just want to sit down and play with some makeup. So I've been trying to take advantage of the days that I have free time to play with makeup, because makeup just is my outlet to, what's the word I'm looking for here, like, express myself, but a way to like decompress, to try to not be so stressed out. Like, it's therapeutic. I love makeup. Okay, please let me know what you'd like to see next down in the comments below. If you'd like to keep up my awkward face and shenanigans while I'm not here on YouTube, then I have all my social medias linked in the description box down below. And if you'd like to keep up with me while I am here on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. It means so much to me, and I can't thank you enough. If you like this video, could you please give it a thumbs up, because I've heard that it helps to get my video put out into the algorithm. So if you give it a thumbs up, then thank you. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I hope that I'll see you in the next one.